Garrett, Heath here with SA Flavor. I'm out here with Chef Jesse Perez of Arcade Kitchen.
Thanks for coming in.
Hey man, and you know, Meatopia is actually on your front doorstep, isn't it?
It is. It's great to have it right outside the front door.
And so what do you got going on with Meatopia today?
You know what? We actually had 3 dishes going on right now. And the first one was the South Texas Antelope Short Ribs. Okay. We had 300 pounds gone in the first hour and a half. So I'm sorry I don't have one there, but what we did, we supplemented with a couple other things. We had a beef flank steak with the tomato chimichurri, a little bit of kind of flavor of what we do normally here at the restaurant. But we also still have a Broken Arrow Ranch product, which is a Bandera Diamond Age Quail that we stuck with some wild boar sausage that Broken Arrow makes. Okay. So Broken Arrow is just about an hour and a half north in Ingram, Texas. I have a great relationship with them. Been doing it for about 10 years.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, like, having local ingredients at your kitchen, like, talk a little about
You know what? It was actually one of the stipulations for Meatopia. And one thing that I think from my point of view and the chef's point of view, there's rules with Meatopia. No butane, no propane, everything live fire. You either chose from wood or coal.
Okay.
That's all you could do. And so it's kind of primal in that sense.
Right on.
And then when you talk to chefs like that, like it's like a turn on, you know, to be able to do something like that. So I think we all brought it today. And for it being the inaugural, you know, Meatopia, and to have chefs from New York and Paul Key from Austin and Chris Shepard from Houston from Underbelly. I mean, these are all guys that are doing wonderful things. It just feels good, it feels right, and it looks like everybody's enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one of the things I've noticed about you kind of like the prodigal son, left San Antonio, went around, went to California, had a lot of experiences there, and you wrote a love letter to San Antonio in the Huffington Post.
I did. They asked me to write a love letter, and true story, it was due by 10 a.m. the next morning. I started at 3 a.m., took about an hour and a half to write it, and there was a little bit of editing, but you know what? It came straight from the heart. And I wrote it in the sense of it was kind of just like a long lost love, because I did really kind of go and come, and I really wanted to come back, and I felt like San Antonio's pulling me back, but I still had to do all these stepping stones, you know, in Atlanta to learn how to become a chef, go to California, learn a big larger market, to be able to come to San Antonio with that experience. So in the end, it was kind of full circle, which is great.
What is it about San Antonio that really drew you back to the city?
You know, well, my family comes first. You know, my family's kind of rooted here, but at the same time, San Antonio is up and coming. There is no doubt about it. And it's not just with Burl. I mean, you got great chefs like Chef Jason and Andrew, and that have been doing great work. I mean, Bruce Auden, you know, just one of the pioneers. You know, they've kind of set that tone. And so here I come, and a couple of Steve McHugh and all these other guys coming on board, that we're just trying to explode this culinary landscape and give Austin a run for its money.
Right on. I mean, you're doing a great job. Right now, we're inside your restaurant.
Yes, you know, Arcade. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about Arcade and some of the offerings that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the crazy one that opened on Valentine's Day. Okay.
Hey, you know you're not supposed to open a restaurant or take out a girl for the first date on Valentine's Day.
But you know what? It was amateur night, so it worked. So if we were going to go down in flames, it was going to be okay. But it put money in the bank. But at the same time, you know, I wanted to bring this urban development here. I wanted to build a restaurant like Arcade that didn't feel like San Antonio. Right. I wanted the music, the vibe, you know, everything like that. And the premise of Arcade was, you know, kind of architectural and from the design perspective. But then Arcades, you know, in my generation, your generation, it's all like, well, what did we do when we went to Arcades? It was a place to go gather and have a good time and meet people and have fun. And so that's what, you know, kind of full circle. And Zoltar being the novel item that we have is kind of the hook. You know, don't get me wrong, I wanted a Galaga and an Asteroids, but that would have taken it a whole nother level. So Zoltar kind of brings everything together, but then Zoltar also serves a purpose, giving back to the community. And so all the proceeds of Zoltar go to breast cancer research.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of story. And then what we offer here, I'm calling it Americana.
Okay.
And I'm adding the A to it, which gives me flexibility, doesn't pigeonhole me into like a particular cuisine. So I got meatballs, kind of like an Italian rustic flair. I got lobster salt taco, that's kind of southwestern flair. And then we do a lot of continental dishes for like brunch with a little twist. So it gives me a little bit more flexibility as opposed to being southwestern or modern American, which is like, what does that really mean? You know, Americana is very Texas to begin with anyway. So it was kind of one of those things that gave me a flexibility to do whatever.
And I know one of the big features of Arcade is the bar.
Yes.
The indoor, outdoor bar. And I mean, I've had plenty of cocktails out on the porch, nice San Antonio spring night. Like, why was that so important to you?
You know what? not only was the food community coming into, focus, I believe the cocktail community, with Esquire kind of setting the tone, and then you have great bars like Brooklynite. I wanted to make sure that you had the triple effect with the restaurant. Great service, great cocktails, great food. If you have that, that's a good recipe for success. And then the outdoor bar, to me, that was probably one of the first moments that I actually patted myself on the back, because I realized that was just a genius move. Because people like, especially when the weather,
right?
And there was times, there's times out of the year where it's just too hot. But like weather like today and going into the rest of the year, I mean, like who doesn't want to sit outside and have a cocktail, So it's definitely one of the pluses of the restaurant.
Awesome. Well, Chef Jesse, we are excited to have you back in
Great,
San
man.
Antonio.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for doing the interview.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.